Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a brand new legal breaking reporting and video analysis update. Let's get into our morning briefing by Washington Post, October 28, 2025, Tuesday.
Jamaica is bracing for one of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes ever recorded. That's where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Tuesday, October 28th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Hurricane Melissa is now a Category 5 storm. Early this morning, its peak intensity surpassed that of Hurricane Katrina, the storm that devastated New Orleans in 2005. Melissa is aimed squarely at Jamaica's main island, expected to make landfall today. Rain is forecast to total up to 40 inches in the mountains, causing catastrophic flash flooding and landslides. Parts of the coast could see a storm surge of 9 to 13 feet and very large waves. At a news conference yesterday, Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness warned that there is no infrastructure in the region that can withstand a Category 5.
I have gotten so many calls, and I have been on my knees in prayer. And I know that there are Jamaicans here praying for us, Jamaicans overseas praying for us, but more than that, it would appear that the entire world is praying for Jamaica. I've gotten so many calls from leaders from all over the world, in particular CARICOM leaders, who are all praying for Jamaica.
That audio came from APT News on YouTube. Jamaica's airport and key power plant are right in Melissa's path. There are fears the damage could be worse than that of Hurricane Gilbert in 1988. That was the strongest storm in Jamaica's history. President Donald Trump put his allies on a board that could decide the fate of his White House ballroom. That's number 2. You've probably never heard of the National Capital Planning Commission. It's a 12-member board charged by Congress with overseeing federal construction projects, and it typically attracts little attention. But the committee is now likely to consider one of the highest-profile building projects on Earth, a 90,000-square-foot White House ballroom. The White House has promised that it will submit its blueprints for the project to the commission for review. The panel is led by Will Scharf. He's the White House staff secretary who Trump appointed in July to lead the body. And it includes a pair of other White House officials, James Blair and Stuart Levenbach. It is not yet clear whether the commission will approve Trump's plans, even though the East Wing of the White House has already been knocked down to make room for it. But Trump is probably reassured that the panel now features these Trump-friendly faces. Number 3. The government shutdown could hit free childcare this week. The federal government has been shut down for almost 4 weeks with no end in sight. A dozen times, Democrats in the Senate have rejected a Republican proposal that would fund the government through November 21st. They want Republicans to agree to extend Affordable Care Act subsidies that are set to expire soon, raising health insurance premiums. Republicans say they won't negotiate on the policy while the government is shut down, so each party blames the other for the extended closure. Meanwhile, more and more government programs are struggling to keep offering vital services. At the end of this week, many Head Start programs across the country could be forced to close if the shutdown continues. That would jeopardize free childcare and other services for tens of thousands of families with young children. And advocates warn that more Head Start sites could shut down as their grants expire at the beginning of each month. Number 4. Stillbirths in the U.S. are far more common than previously reported. A sweeping new study analyzed nearly 2.8 million pregnancies. It found that nearly 19,000 stillbirths occurred between 2016 and 2022. That's a rate that's higher than what's recorded in federal data. The study also shows that nearly 30% of stillbirths occurred in pregnancies that did not appear linked to any previously identified health or clinical risks. And it found that stillbirth continues to fall unevenly along racial and socioeconomic lines, with Black families and poorer communities being hit hardest. Researchers say better screening and monitoring are urgently needed. The battle over DEI is messier than ever for companies. That's number 5. When Trump took office last year, he said he would end what he called illegal diversity, equity, and inclusion programs within 48 hours. Many companies saw that as a sign to scrap their representation goals for suppliers and workforces, as well as other DEI policies. But some employees, consumers, and other groups are unhappy with the shift. Target, in particular, has faced heat for its DEI changes. The company is grappling with declining sales after civil rights leaders and frustrated customers stopped shopping there in protest. At the same time, Target faces multiple lawsuits due to its previous DEI policies. And it's still unclear what employers should do from a legal perspective. On the one hand, the Justice Department has encouraged whistleblowers to sue companies over DEI on behalf of the government. On the other hand, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission has the lowest enforcement levels in decades, even though its acting chair has said ending DEI is a priority. Number 6. Elon Musk launched a rival to Wikipedia. Yesterday, the tech billionaire and former first buddy to President Trump launched his latest offering to the world, Grokipedia. It's named for Musk's AI chatbot, Grok, and also written by it. Musk has pitched Grokipedia as an unbiased alternative to Wikipedia, a site he has soured on in recent years, partly because he doesn't like the Wikipedia entry for Elon Musk. It's still in an early form, but Grokipedia has already had some technical difficulties, glaring errors, and critics noted passages that were simply copied from Wikipedia. In an interview with the Post last week, Wikipedia's co-founder Jimmy Wales said he didn't have high expectations for Musk's upstart challenger. He said that AI language models aren't good enough to write encyclopedia articles. Number 7 is bad news if you are hoping to find your MAGA soulmate in Washington, D.C. MAGA singles are struggling to find love in the nation's capital. In last year's presidential election, 92.5% of the district voted for Kamala Harris. And though they didn't get the president they wanted, they may have won in another way. It could be easier for them to find love in the city, or at least easier than it is for their Republican counterparts. One conservative woman told the Post she had been on some 50 dates in the past 6 years in her hunt for a good conservative Christian man, but no luck so far. Others have been disappointed that Trump's election victory hasn't led to the influx of eligible conservatives they hoped it might. But we are told that Republican singles can be found if you're looking in the right places. The people the Post interviewed named a few options. You can find them in the article in our newsletter. So those are the spots you might want to head for or avoid, depending on what you're looking for. All right, you're all caught up. The time has come to connect your Post subscription to Apple Podcasts and get access to our shows ad-free. Here's how to do it. Find the Washington Post channel in Apple Podcasts and connect your Post subscription. That's it. Plus, you'll get some more subscriber-only audio benefits, like exclusive and early access episodes. If you're a subscriber, it's a no-brainer. If you're not, what are you waiting for? Head over to WashingtonPost.com/subscribe. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'll meet you back here tomorrow.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and enjoy for more legal breaking news that you need to know about. I will see you guys back here this evening for more legal breaking analysis, news reportings on the side of politics, and more that you need to know about. Please subscribe for more and follow along for more that you need to know about. More to come this evening.